I think it was on the Jeff Merrick show. They were talking about, they did bring up John Gibson for a little bit. And that idea that he might go now, potentially. Obviously, he would have to be traded. It's not entirely up to him unless he were to straight up ask for a trade from Pat Verbeek.
Yeah.
The key guy that they brought up, though, was Hampus Lindholm leaving, I believe is who they brought up.
Yeah. See, that makes sense, but.
And that would be, okay, like, it's maybe not to the same extent, but Getzlaf hasn't been quite the same just as a whole. I feel like since Perry left, right?
Yeah.
It's that partnership that you develop, right? You're around somebody for a long time, right? And like if you're, like out on the town or that kind of thing, right? Like that's your best friend on your team, right? And that happens all the time, right? And there's multiple guys. So it sounds like it. I'm really hoping I'm remembering correctly that it was Lindholm. But
I think so. Because I think
now.
They talked about it on 32 Thoughts as well, just very briefly.
Or maybe it was just 32 Thoughts. I forget. I listened to
like
both like back to back pretty much. So it's like, okay, which one was it actually? Either way, it was Jeff Merrick and Elliot Freeman. But yeah, so it's like, okay, well, you shipped off my best friend. Nothing's really happening here. You re-sign the guy that keeps throwing me in when I'm not ready or that kind of thing, right? Like, and puts this team or like this structure in front of me. Like, I could go somewhere else and try to win a cup because remember, I haven't won a cup yet, right? I've gotten close, but those days are long gone right now.
Are you saying John Gibson to Boston then?
No, not to Boston because they're already stocked with Ullmark and Swayman.
Unless we get Ullmark or Swayman back. Like, if you're Boston, Gibson is not to take anything away from Ullmark and Swayman here, but Gibson is by far, like, way better than those guys. In my opinion.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, just potential places. I mean, he's been tied for, like, the last year or so to Pittsburgh, but that's just because he's from there mainly.
Yeah.
They were
Pittsburgh's going to go and get a goaltender. They're going to get Fleury, though.
Yeah, and that was brought up too. But actually, forget who it was. I believe it was CJ Woodling had brought up the idea of what about Fleury here in Anaheim?
Yeah, I could see that. And then Gibson in Minnesota or something.
Now that wasn't. I don't think the idea was if Gibson's gone. I think it's just Fleury here in general.
Interesting.
So,
yeah, I don't know. I think the two places that most badly need a goaltender and are going to be cup contenders in the next few years, and where John Gibson is going to get probably the majority of the starts, are Toronto and Edmonton. Whenever goalies get brought up on the market, those are the first two places that get talked about. And maybe it's just because we're up here in Canada, so there's a little bit of Canadian bias. But But regardless of where John Gibson wants to go, those are the two places that are linked to every goaltender.
Okay, now out of those two places, Edmonton, I don't think is happening unless you get a massive overpayment because it's a division rival.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big deal. Toronto is definitely the preferred place.
Toronto, and also just makes sense because they currently don't have Jack Campbell signed for next season.